Hello friends, welcome to Net Chemistry. We were discussing about organometallic chemistry. Today we will see metal carbonyl, that organometallic compound, how the metal carbonyl structure will be coming, how it will be prepared, what all are the properties of these metallic carbonyls. Okay, so first one is metal carbonyls. If you see, first group of D blocks are scandium and titanium, right? Scandium and titanium. Scandium, yttrium, lanthanum, titanium, zirconium, hafnium. These groups will not form no metal carbonyls from this group. Why? This metal carbonyls will not form by this group. Scandium, how many outer electrons are there? 3, right? And titanium 4. Like those group is having 3 and 4 outer electrons. So if I prepare titanium metal carbonyl TiCO 6 times, if what will happen? Whether it is obeying the 18 electron rule or not, it is titanium is having 4 electrons and this is having only 16 electrons. This is not stable. So what you can do, you cannot prepare metallic carbonyls from this group. You can prepare CO6 minus 2. If I give, it will obey the 18 electron rule. But this is not metal carbonyls, this is carbonate ions. Okay, carbonate ions it will be. So first groups cannot be prepared metal carbonyls. The next one is vanadium, niobium, tantalum, right? That group we will see. If you prepare VCO6 vanadium group carbonyls, if you are preparing, what will happen? How many electrons? Vanadium is having 5 electron and 5 plus 6 into 2, 12, right? So 17 electrons you will be getting. This is having somewhat stability. If it is forming VCO6 minus 1, it will be forming 18 electron. It will be obeying the 18 electron rule. So this can be prepared. But if you see the case of TiCO6 minus 2, this is not carbonyl. Even this is not carbonyl. These all are carbonate ions. So why the first groups cannot be prepared metallic carbonyls? First of all, that will not obey the 18 electron rule. And if you think we can prepare TiCO7, this we can prepare. If you are thinking, what will happen? Titanium is somewhat a small metal, right? It is a smaller metal. So what will happen? TiCO7, it will obey the 18 electron rule, right? It will obey the 18 electron rule. 7 into 2 plus 4, right? This is what titanium CO7 if you are preparing. But here what will happen? Steric effect will be, steric hindrance will be more. So this cannot be prepared. So from where we can prepare the metallic carbonyls is chromium onwards. Okay. Yesterday we have seen CrCO6, chromium, molybdenum and tungsten, right? This we can prepare and this will be obey. This metal carbonyls we can prepare and this will be obeying the 18 electron rule. And the next set is manganese, right? If you are seeing manganese, technetium and rhenium. So Mn2CO10 we can prepare. So this also we can prepare. This we can prepare. From chromium onwards we can prepare metal carbonyls. And if you see chromium, molybdenum, tungsten, this has formed monomers. And if you see this group, this has formed dimers. What will happen in common when we are preparing the metal carbonyls? Odd group number will form the dimers and even group number will form the monomers. Okay, clear? This will be forming the dimer and this will be forming the monomers. Odd group, even group number will form monomer and odd group number form dimers. And coming to the right to the group, what will happen? All clusters will be forming. If you are coming to iron, next is iron, right? So iron family, if you are coming, that will be forming in monomers. It can form monomers, but that will not be stable. So it will be forming the dimers. See, iron, ruthenium, osmium, it is even group number, it can form monomers, but these two are less stable. This will not form. This will always prefer to form the clusters. It can be converted into its dimer Fe2CO9. We have seen last class. This is also stable, which will obey the 18 electron rule. This is less stable. Okay, these both are less stable. So what will happen? Always it will form cluster form. So Fe3. So this is the Fe3CO12 iron ruthenium osmium. It will be forming always trimers. Okay, this is the way this organometallic metal carbonyls are forming in iron group. And the next is cobalt. We will see. You have heard CO2 CO8 will form, right? CO2 CO8. This is very important. We will see how the structure will be. And the next one in this group, cobalt group, CO4 CO12 will form cobalt, rhodium and iridium, right? So this is the way metal carbonyls are forming. Why I am writing all these things? You can find out the metal bonds from this, and you can find out whether this is obeying the 18 electron rule. So what will happen? Write the group always metal carbonyl clusters are forming. So we will see how the structure of these complexes are coming. Okay. Structure of metallic carbonyls we will see. If you take TiCO6 minus 2, I have said, right? This is not carbonyl, this is carbonate ion. This is an octahedron if you see, and there is minus charge will be there. This is not perfect octahedron. And same way BCO6 minus 1 we have seen. The same way that also will form an octahedron only, and minus 1 will be outside. But if you see the case of CrCO6, that will form a perfect octahedron. Not only CrCO6, chromium family, whatever you are taking, chromium, molybdenum and tungsten, it will form a perfect octahedron. The next one we have seen manganese group dimerization will happen. What will happen? Metal bond will be there. Manganese Mn2CO10. If you see this structure, manganese metal bond will be there. You can calculate using 18 electron rule. Whoever has not seen the last video, I had given a link in the description. You can check that. Okay, so this is the structure of Mn2CO10. Each manganese is containing 5 CO atom. This is the structure, and the remaining also you can draw like this. Okay, and in this, if you are analyzing the metal carbonyl structure, there are 3 types of metal carbonyls you can find out. One is end-on carbonyl, like this. In the end, carbonyl has attached, and carbonyl is bridged. It will be like this. Okay, some metal and carbonyl will be attached like this. This is called doubly bridged. And if it is a triply bridged, this is the structures you can find out in carbonyl. End-on carbonyl will be there, doubly bridged and triply bridged. How you will find out this is, what is the structure of this carbonyl? See, if there is a bridging occurred or not, you cannot predict by like seeing the compound. You cannot predict. You have to analyze using IR data. Based on IR data only you can find out the end-on carbonyl or bridged carbonyl. How you will find out? The lambda max value, if as bridging increases, what will happen? Lambda max value will be decreasing. Based on that only you have to find out what is the carbonyl it is attached. Okay. So if you see these carbonyls, this is whichever is not having the bridging, I am just putting a star mark, which is not having the bridging. Okay, this will not have a bridging carbonyl. Okay, this will not have bridging, and this will not have the bridging. Remaining, if you see Fe3CO12, CO4CO12, RH, rhodium, C12, okay, CO12, all this is having the bridging. Okay, the other things which wherever I have put a star mark, that is lack of bridging, and the other carbonyls will be having bridging. See, we cannot predict the bridging by seeing the structure. Okay, from IR data only, experimental, this is experimental observation. So you just study like this only. This Fe3CO12 we will see first. If not only Fe3CO12, okay, Fe2CO9 also is having the bridging. We will see all the bridging compounds, bridging carbonyl, then you will understand. It is important topic. Okay, you have to study. If you see Fe2CO9, each Fe atom contains 4 CO and 1 CO is made as a bridged carbonyl. Okay, this is not additional bridging because 1 CO cannot be paired equally, so it has formed a bridged compound. So the next is Fe3CO12. I am writing Fe3CO12. How many metal bonds are there in Fe3? 3 metal bonds we have seen in the last class, and CO12 we will give. Each iron we will give 4 COs, right? Then Fe3CO12. Each iron atom 4 COs we have given. This is what Fe3CO12, but there is a bridged carbonyl. If you see all the end-on carbonyls are there, that is not the structure. There is a bridged structure. This CO has bridged to this iron and this CO has bridged to this Fe atom. This is the bridged structure. Okay, 2 doubly bridging is present. How many bridgings are present? 2 doubly bridgings are present here. Okay, but here if you see one bridging, that is not additional bridging. Additional CO is there, that has formed a bridged complex. Okay, this is what the bridging in iron compound. And the next one is Fe3CO12, and these are not having the bridging. Next one is cobalt. Cobalt we will see what is the structure. Okay, cobalt, you know, 6 metal bonds are there. You can calculate and find out how many metal bonds. 6 metal bonds are there. That is what I have given. And each cobalt contains 3 CO atom. Then only 4 COs containing 3 carbonyl. Then only it will become 12. So I am writing 1 CO inside. I am writing because there is a bridged carbonyl will be there. How it will be bridging? 3 bridgings are there. See, this CO has bridged to this cobalt, this carbonyl has bridged to this CO, and this CO has bridged to this carbonyl. This is the way it has bridged and formed. The next I am taking, this is not that important. The next one is very important, CO2 CO8. We will see how CO2 CO8 structure will be. Each cobalt atom contains 4 COs. Okay, this is the structure in solution state. What state? Solution state. This is very important. Okay, you can find in your CSIR question paper these questions. Okay, CO2 CO8, this will be solution state. There is no bridging. If you take a solid state to cobalt, and each cobalt atom containing 4 COs, right? Both sides this carbonyl is attached to CO while bridging is there. What is this form? In solid form. So solid form in CO2 CO8. This is the compound metallic carbonyls. This is having 2 bridging present in solid state, and if you see the solution state, only end-on carbonyls are present. Clear? This is very important. Okay, the next we will see how to prepare the metallic carbonyls. See, structure is important. Metallic carbonyl structure is important. You have to study. Okay, especially this type of some compounds, they will ask for find out the number of bridging. Okay, in preparation of metallic carbonyls, you can see first is direct carbonylation, direct method, but only nickel and iron. These carbonyls we can prepare by direct carbonylation. How we will prepare? Nickel plus carbonyls you have given, and the same way if you take iron carbonylation, you can give 200 atmosphere pressure and temperature. Okay, if you are giving, you will be getting FeCO5. Okay, so direct carbonylation, nickel and iron can be prepared by the direct carbonylation. What will happen? This will not be like this. This will always convert to Fe2CO9. Okay, this also can be prepared by this method. Okay, so this nickel and iron can be prepared directly. The next one is reduction method. You have to do. How to do the reduction method? You have to take metallic salts. Okay, Either it can be metallic chlorides, we can say metallic salt you have to take, some reducing agents you have to add, reducing agents, reduction agents. What all are the reducing agents you can use? Alkali metals you can use, aluminum, sodium, potassium, all these reducing agents you can use, and you can use the CO, carbonyls. Then what will happen? You will be getting the metallic carbonyls. So this is the reduction method. So we will see one example. I am taking chromium here, Cl3 plus aluminum as the reducing agent plus CO. What will happen? You will be getting, this is the reduction method, CrCO 6 times you will be getting, right? What is this CrCl3 and aluminum? What? Reduction Friedel Crafts, right? This is the reduction method you can use. You can balance the equation and write what will happen here. Al3 plus, here Cl minus 3 it has become, right, minus 3, and Cr plus 3 it has become. So aluminum chloride AlCl3 it will be forming. I will write the equation, you know, right? So Cr3 plus and 6CO, this is the reaction. Cr3 plus 6CO will react and it will form CrCO6. And what is eliminating? AlCl3 is eliminating. This is the reaction happening in reduction method. The same way you can prepare the other metallic carbonyl also. I will write from the periodic table what you have to use to prepare the metallic carbonyls, okay? If you see, scandium and titanium will not form any carbonyl. So next is vanadium. So what will happen? This two group, vanadium and chromium, you can use chlorides. Now you have seen, right, chromium chloride we have taken and reduction, and this manganese group is coming, you have to take the oxide for the reduction, and these groups, remaining groups you can form complexes you can take, okay? I will show you one example, then you will understand. This is the way you have to choose the what you have to take for the reduction. You have to choose this one, this the left chlorides, you can take a manganese group. If you are taking, you have to prefer oxides. See, I have written all the examples. See, manganese group I have said manganese oxides you have to take. So this is the manganese oxide, that group oxides you have to take and you have to do the reduction. Then you will be getting the carbonyl. The next I have said cobalt. The right periodic table, right, if you are taking some of the complexes you have taken. So here you have taken the cobalt carbonate, and here this the cobalt carbonate we have taken. The same reduction we have done. We have got CO2C8. You know the structure of these complexes, right? This carbonyl structure, you know. The next one, iron group. Iron group you have seen. See, ruthenium acetate I have taken and I have given the reduction. Then you will be getting this complex. And or else you can take ruthenium chloride also. Iron, those group either chloride or complexes you can take. Okay, this is the reduction method. Okay, this is the preparation of the carbonyl. So direct carbonylation and reduction method you can prepare the carbonyl. Next is the properties of the carbonyl. Then we will finish. Okay. So properties of carbonyl complexes, very important. You have to be very thorough about this, okay? First property I am writing, carbonyl complexes can easily attacked by the bases. It can be attacked by the bases, sodium hydroxide or anything. It can attacked by the bases, and what will happen? This will convert to the carbonylate ions. What is carbonate ions? Carbonate ions is having the negative charge. We have seen in the first itself. So we will see the reaction mechanism. What will happen? FeCO5, right? CO5. This is the structure of FeCO5, right? What will happen? One OH minus will come, and this OH minus, where it will be from here only, okay? OH minus will come, where it will be attacking? It will be attacking the carbonyl carbon. Then what will happen? This bond will shift to this side. Right, this is the structure it is forming. Then what will happen? This negative charge will come back. Then what will happen? This will shift to like this. So CO4 Fe C double bond O OH, right? H. What will happen? This bond will shift here. Negative charge is here. So this bond will shift here. What will happen? CO2 will go and this bond will shift like this. So what will happen? You will be getting CO4 Fe minus 2 and one H plus will be there, right, and plus CO2 will be there. This is the complex forming FeCO4 minus 2. This is the carbonate ion forming if excess of NaOH is present. Excess of NaOH is present, what will happen? H plus will be getting neutralized. If the less quantity of NaOH is added, less NaOH amount is very less, what will happen? This both will combine together to form So if less amount of NaOH is present, this both will combine together to form HFeCO4 minus. You can calculate the 18 electron rule. This is the formation when a base is attacked by when a metal carbonyl is attacked by base, it is forming the carbonate ions. It will be forming the carbonate ion. Two condition I have said. If high quantity of NaOH, this is high quantity of NaOH means this will be neutralized. H plus will be neutralized. If less amount of NaOH is present, it will form HFeCO4 minus. The next property is it can be metal carbonyls can be attacked by the hydrates. What is the second property I have said? Metal carbonyls can be attacked by the hydride ions. Okay, BH4 minus. What is BH4 minus? BH3 plus and H minus. What will happen? FeCO5 plus H minus will react. How it will be reacting? You have to write CO4 Fe double bond C double bond O, right? So H minus is coming, where it will be attacking the minus charge carbonyl carbon, right? So what will happen? This bond will shift like this. You will be getting CO4 Fe CO minus and H, right? This is the way it is forming. So what will happen? This negative charge will come back and this will shift it like this. So here one hydrogen is there, this will shift towards this. Okay, so what is your product forming? HFeCO4 minus will be forming, and what will happen? Plus carbonyl. This is the product you are getting from the hydride when attacking by the hydride. What will happen? This can be, this hydrogen complexes can combine together to form metal hydrogen. One hydrogen bridge can be formed. Okay, some of the complexes, if you are seeing after attacking by the hydride ion, it will be forming hydrogen bridged complex. We will see one example for that also. I am writing, okay, same way only the reaction will be, that is why I am writing as such CO5 clear. What will happen? This will come back and this will come here. What will happen? CO5 Cr minus C double bond O hydrogen, then this hydrogen will shift here. Then what will happen? We are getting HCr CO5 minus plus CO, right? What will happen? This metal, this hydride will combine with another carbonyl. Then what will happen? HCr CO5 minus will be combining with the Cr CO6 and forming a hydrogen bridged complexes. So after the hydride attack, some of the metal carbonyl can form hydrogen bridged complex. Clear? This is the another application of this metallic carbonyls. Hydrogen bridged complexes you can prepare. The next one is reduction. We will see. Next properties are reduction. Okay, third one is reduction. First reduction with the hydrogen we will see. Hydrogen reduction with the hydrogen we will see. What will happen? It will undergo the reduction and it will form HMnCO5. You can calculate the 18 electron rule. 10 here 10 electrons, right, plus 7 electrons plus 1. Whether it is obeying the 18 electron rule? Yes, 18 electrons are there. So this is a stable complex. So manganese, this will undergo the reduction with the hydrogen. And the second one is reduction with the alkali metals we will see. Clear? Here also 7 plus 10 plus 1, 18 electron rule. If you see the case, This also, this will, all the metal carbonyls will undergo the reduction with the alkali metals and form these carbonate ions. If you see -2, how many electrons are there, whether it is obeying the 18 electron rule? Yes, right, 8 plus 2, right, 16 plus 2, 18 electron rule it is obeying. These all are the stable carbonate ions it is forming. And the next one is, it will undergo the reduction with the halogens. Halogens means iodine, chlorine, bromine, all those halogens also it will undergo the reduction. This reduction reaction is same like a hydrogen, what it has formed, HMnCO5. The same way IMnCO5 it will be forming. Okay, if you are calculating the 18 electron rule, carbonyls 10, 5 into 2, right, 10 plus 7 plus halogens will donate 1 electron. So this also is stable complex. So metal carbonyls can undergo the reduction with hydrogen, alkali metals and halogens, right. Halogen and hydrogen reduction will be in the same way. These all are the properties of these metal carbonyls. So this is what all about metallic carbonyls. All the detail, structure you know, preparation you know, properties you know, all these things are very important. Be thorough about all these metallic carbonyls and 18 electron rule. Hope you understand it well. To be continued. Thank you for watching.